How do I get that glossy glass-like finish on my clay charms? Which glaze do I use? Where's that cute stamp from? Where do I get my packaging supplies from? My dear fellow clay artists, Shreya and the Snugglets are here to spill the beans with links.
Would you be my Valentine?
Why am I so down? My orders. I mean,
Would you be my Valentine?
Hello. If you're new here, I'm Shreya. Back again with my tiny team of chaos, also known as the Snugglets. Things have been pretty wild in Whimsyville after the shop update. Just in case you're wondering what Whimsyville is, it's my tiny clay village. A miniature world that I built from scratch, which is also a home to all my clay creations called Snugglets. Because like many of you, unfortunately, I didn't get my Hogwarts letter. So I had to create my own magical world. And Whimsyville is exactly that. If you like cute, ugly, magical, and clumsy core, then you'll love it. So everyone has been very busy in Whimsyville, glazing a clay army, packing a bunch of orders, preparing the packaging, as well as sending off lots of happy little parcels. So in today's vlog, I thought I'll take you behind the scenes, show you what all has been going on while answering some of the most asked questions about glazing and packaging. I've packed all of that into this video along with links to all my favorite supplies and tools. So if you're a fellow clay artist, a small business owner, or you're someone who just likes watching things being glazed and packed with a lot of love and a pinch of chaos, then this is for you. I've got my iced coffee with me as always, because let's be honest, clay doesn't glaze itself and coffee is basically my co-worker here. So grab your favorite drink, snuggle in, and let's dive into the shiny, snuggly, slightly chaotic world together. I wonder how I said that in one go. Now glazing is actually a very stressful part for me of the entire clay charm making process, so I usually do not film it because it requires a bunch of precautions. Like our first precaution here, this is actually an acrylic board that I use. I initially got it to sculpt clay charms, but I soon realized a dog is barking outside. Can you please? So yeah, I initially got it for sculpting, but for sculpting I basically need a glass base. Otherwise the clay charms will anyhow stick to this thing, making it extremely difficult for me to sculpt. I was so irritated by the clay sticking to it that I initially thought I'd just stop sculpting. I'm glad I did some research and got a glass board. I didn't want to waste this thing, so I thought why not use it for glazing sessions, because glazing sessions are messy and I often drop bits and droplets of glaze. So this kind of protects my pretty little desk from getting any glaze on it, because the UV resin that I use can dry up when it's exposed to sunlight or UV light and would probably never come off from my table. So that is why I use this. This is the second important thing. A clean hanky to cover this thing up. So this is our next important stuff. I always keep these small jars with me because I put a little bit of rubbing alcohol inside it so that I can keep my brush dipped in it and it doesn't get hard. Another trick I learned is you don't really need to wash your paintbrush. You can actually just keep it in a dark area where there is no sunlight and it'll probably not harden. Just to add another layer of protection, add it in this tiny jar with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and cover it lightly and put it inside a drawer which is extremely dark, so that way the brush doesn't harden. This is something that I learned very recently and I'm pretty happy with it. I used this 2 weeks back and look at this. I'm not gonna touch it because there might be resin on it. It looks like it's bent and it's hard, but it's not. It is pretty soft considering I have been using this brush for the past few months now. This I've already told is the rubbing alcohol. Yes, Oitra. I use Oitra resin. It's been a long time. There is one issue with this though. The consistency of this resin changes whenever I buy a new bottle. Like sometimes it's a little too thick and sometimes it's a little runny. Like this bottle here was a bit runny from the previous one, so the first time that I poured some of the resin, it just dropped everywhere. So it took me a few tries to get used to the consistency, and I'm sure the next bottle that I buy will have a different consistency. That's the only problem. Other than that, this has been pretty good for me. I haven't seen it turn yellow so far because that's the first issue or problem that some UV resins have. Our pliers to hold the clay charms and my handy little secret stuff. This is not secret, this is, you must have seen a bunch of artists use this. Mine is a little bent. I was actually trying to insert it into a very hard clay charm, and that's why it kind of bent. Silly me. I usually use this to poke my tiny little clay charms tushies so that I can hold it properly and apply the resin. Another thing I used to use were these two. Like previously, I used to just take out a little bit of glue tack. This is like a sticky, again, clay kind of a thing, but it doesn't really stick to the surface. Whenever it does, you can easily remove it and it won't do any damage. I would put this on top of my acrylic roller very well. You have to press it very hard, otherwise it will come off while you're glazing. And take my tiny little charm, press it pretty hard, use all the power you have. It kind of sticks. You have to actually test it so that it doesn't fall. So now you just take your brush and do the glazing part. I stopped using this, reason being sometimes even if I've pressed it down way too hard, clay charm would fall off. I've had so many accidents where it wasn't that well stuck, and in the middle of the glazing session the clay charm would just fall on my pants, as a result of which the resin would stick to my pants, which is not something you want. That's pretty bad. That was one issue. And another one, again, when it's not stuck properly, it would fall off on the floor or on some other areas, and dirt or lint or whatever is there around me will just stick to it, making it extremely dirty. It became a problem for me. That's why I watched a bunch of other clay artists who used this tiny thing to, again, poke the tushy of the clay charms, and once you're done doing that, it just sticks pretty nice. For my keychains, I usually use this because it's easier. I've seen a lot of people ask questions about what to use, what not to use, like in very detail. But the thing is, there are a bunch of things that you will understand only when you start using it or only when you start trying it out. I saw this being used by one of the artists and I followed it, but it didn't really work out well for me. And then I figured another way that kind of worked better than this one. There are a few things that you will understand better if you try it yourself and make mistakes. Now the most scary part, the only reason I do not shoot while glazing. This is extremely important. I get so many questions of people asking me whether they can glaze without using any proper equipment, and my answer is a big fat no, you cannot. It's not safe for you. It's unfortunate that I have to really use it because I sadly haven't found any proper alternative for this that can give that glossy look. Do you know that even after taking all these precautions, you still might get some health issues? That is why this is very necessary. Even if I have to say it 100 times, I will still mention it again and again in all my glazing vlogs that you have to use at least these 3 things and take precautions afterwards too. Eye protective kind of a goggle. The second thing, more industrial grade gloves than the normal rubber thin gloves. I would say just buy some sturdy ones, okay? This is important to protect your beautiful little hands. And last and the most important one is this respirator here. I usually remove the filters which go on both the side and then keep it inside this bag. I heard an artist say that if you do not do that, the filters kind of get worn out on their own. That's why I remove them and keep them inside this Ziploc bag. This is costly, I know, but you have to buy a very costly and good one, okay? Do not cheap out on this thing. And for the 100th time, no, you cannot use the surgical mask that we all used to use during COVID. This doesn't work like that. You need to have a respirator kind of a mask. So it's better to just get one of these, okay? This is important. Please have that in mind. If you're using a surgical mask, it's kind of not protecting you from anything. Trust me. Keep in mind, you also have to replace these filters regularly. I guess I replace them based on how much I've used them. Wiping them clean is a good habit to have before you start glazing. Even after putting in so much time and effort of glazing the clay charms, there still might be a bunch of dirt or some small pieces of lint here and there, some color smudges. That is alright. Do not beat yourself about it. Try your best to keep them clean, but if there is still some mark or something that doesn't look perfect, it's alright. You don't have to beat yourself about it. Please don't do that. This is handmade. It's supposed to have little tiny imperfections. Just enjoy the process. People who are buying stuff from you are not in it for the looks of it. Yes, the cuteness does help, but I believe most of them also buy stuff because of the story that you have behind them. The tiny little behind the scenes, every effort that you put into making this cute little stuff. The price that you put for your clay charm includes all that stuff. People who buy handmade art do not buy them for their perfect round shapes, the identical structures and stuff like that. That's the definition of machine made. Completely same, and trust me, you are not a machine. So there will be differences in your clay charms, tiny shape changes, small imperfection. A little bit of lint here and there is fine as long as you've given your best to clean them up. By the way, this Shop Drop's bestseller was Mini. I personally expected the mini clay charm to be the bestseller, but strangely it was Coco, sorry. All my Cocos are a bit wobbly, by the way, because of their big round belly. We kind of sold out of mini pretty fast because I had made a big batch of this, but we still sold out, so I'm pretty happy with her. Now that we're done with the boring knowledge part, let's just jump into the glazing session. I'm trying to finish all the talking beforehand because I'll be wearing these tiny little nasty stuff here, nasty but protective stuff. So I'll probably won't be able to speak through them, and I would prefer not to speak through them because wearing these is already uncomfortable enough, and I prefer concentrating on the glazing while I'm wearing these. So yeah, I will hand over the mic to Editor Shrey.
Hey, GMO, nice to see you. You know I need you. We went to a cobbler to get new kicks. He showed me plenty. I asked him nicely, do you have them in blue? Hey, GMO, nice to see you. You know I need you to get around, oh yeah, to make a dance. Nice to see you. You know I need you. Just give me one more chance. I picked you up and I put you on. We left the shop feeling bold and bright. I love my Aegean blue. Hey, Aegean blue, nice to see you. You know I need you to get around, oh yeah, to make a dance. Nice to see you. You know I need you. Just give me one more chance. You look so damn good. You look so damn good. You look so damn good. Hey, Aegean blue, nice to see you. You know I need you to get around, oh yeah, to make a dance. Nice to see you. You know I need you. Just give me one more chance. Just give me one more chance. Just give me one more chance.
It's another day. Why am I so down? We couldn't pack anything yesterday. We're gonna be doing it today. My genius little brain somehow assumed that I had a bunch of boxes to pack, but figures out I only had 6 of them. And considering we had 21 clay charms to pack out of the 33 or some order, I had to rush to place a new order for shipping boxes. Yeah. However, we were lucky enough because I got one option where there was a one-day delivery, so good for us. Oh, there was dust in it. I'm a little disappointed with myself because I usually only have 2 days, like the weekends, to prepare for all these taxing stuff, and I wasted one of those days because I didn't have this. Since I've already started, this is the first supply, obviously. You fold these tiny sheets, there are marks, and you turn them into tiny boxes. Let's get started. I've laid down all the supplies that I use for packing my orders. I've laid Sorry, maybe I'll have a little bit of coffee. I'm a little flustered today because anytime something doesn't go as I've planned, I kind of feel disappointed in myself, and that leads to frustration, anger, and me being flustered. Coffee helps. Did I get someone on this? That was good. I recently got a frother because I really wanted to see that frothy, creamy texture in my coffee as well as taste it. It doesn't exactly change the taste, but it's nice to have because it somehow, the foam and stuff makes it creamy and it makes the coffee making process even more fun. I'll start off with the stamps first. As of now, I'm using two kinds of stamps. One is my logo stamp that I got customized. The second are these tiny cute little stamps, again from the same side. I put this logo stamp on my boxes, then on my sticker envelopes. These are the smaller envelopes that I have. These are specifically for sending out stationery items like my stickers and bookmarks. And the logo also goes on top of my bigger envelopes. The material of this particular thing is a little different, because of which the stamp I've always seen comes out a little wonky on this envelope in comparison to the smaller one, as well as in comparison to my boxes. This paper has a different texture to it. The part below is not so dark, it's a little patchy. So it's not because of the stamp or the ink, it's because of the material of this paper, because this is very different from the other two. So in case you also have stamps and you do not like the patchy look, then maybe not get this paper. Maybe just get this one or search for a bigger version of this material. Here are our tiny little stamps. I usually do 2 or 3 of these based on my mood. There is no specific rule or pattern I follow for these. It just goes however I wish. So I have one which has a shop. I love this one. Another one which has a tiny briefcase. Oh, I smudged it a little. That's why I don't talk while packing. Ugh. Another simple one that says handmade, and the final one is a panda. This looks cute. So now that I've given you a little idea about the stamps, I'll just move on and finish all the stamping work in one go.
Got me stranded like a boat in the sand. Just the thought of not spreading my wings drives me crazy. Dressing up, fixing my strut, always prepared, you never know who shows up around the corner. Maybe it's that director. Oh, I can sing, I can dance, I can learn to smooth moves. I would do anything you ask me to do. Jump out on the stage, get locked up in a cage, director.
I always have to clean the desk after I'm done stamping because I often get the ink from the stamps on my table. That's one drawback of having a white table, but I really wanted a white one, so I went for it. This is something that I have to do to take care of it. Now that we're done with the stamping part, let me just show you all the tiny little details I add. The first one is my tiny little adoption letter. This is something I came up with while I was working on the whole Whimsyville theme thing. I send these tiny adoption letters with all my desk friends so that people can feel they're kind of adopting a Snuglet. I really found that idea a little cute. Every design and card that I'll be showing you right now is designed by me. Since I had a little idea about digital illustration and I also enjoy it, so I thought why not just design my own cards. The adoption letter has two sides. One side has a blank where I add the name of the customer, and the other one has a tiny place where I can add a freebie sticker. And this small blank here will list all the small little secrets about the charm that they'll be getting. Moving on, we have our thank you cards. The thank you cards have a blank on top for the name of the customer and a blank at the bottom where I can put my signature. This is the tiny illustration of myself. I know it doesn't match because I'm not wearing my specs. I usually am in a half bun and I usually wear my specs most of the time. This is a character I used to draw a lot when I was making my own webcomics or digital illustrations. Yes, that was a face. It still is. You might also see this character now in a bun in most of my videos in the form of tiny animations. Here she's trying to say that if you leave a review on my website, then you will get a 10% off discount for your next order. About this, I wanted many of you guys do not do this. I've seen so many customers placing their second and third order without utilizing their codes. You just have to leave a review and you'll get the code. It's as simple. You can save 10% off on your orders, by the way. That's free money right there. Why wouldn't you want to take it? And in return, I'll get a review. You don't even have to sugarcoat stuff. You just have to leave an honest review. And yes, you'll still get the code if you leave a bad review. Please don't. Never mind. That's what I wanted to say. Utilize this offer. This is only applicable for people who have bought stuff. You can't leave a review if you haven't placed an order. That is a very bad thing to do. The next one is my tiny little business card. This is the front side and this is the back. I'm honestly very proud of this one because I went through another design and I had to scratch it out and redesign this one. Because I didn't really like the previous one, but I'm very happy with this one. And the last two are these tiny parcel stickers. This one goes on top of the envelope and this goes outside the box. You won't be getting any links for this obviously because I created them. That's why I just wanted to show these beforehand. These are tiny little pouches that I got from an online store which was basically up for all the baking supplies. I add the keychain clasp at the end because I give my customers the option to select the shape of the keychain clasp. So each order has a different keychain. That is why I have to do this at the end while matching the order with the order name. Currently I have 5 options that people can choose from. The first one is this tiny strawberry shaped one. Next we have a heart, then a sakura flower. This one is kind of my favorite as of now. A plain simple one because some people do not like big keychain clasp. They prefer things to be tiny and not very chunky. That's why I have one tiny option for people. And this one is very big, a ribbon shaped one. Although my personal favorite is the sakura one, the strawberry one has been the best seller so far because I've seen 70% of the people go for the strawberry ones and the second favorite one is heart shaped one. But yeah, I like the sakura one more. I leave the sources to these in the description too. The site that I got this from is sort of a raw material site. They do not, I guess, allow any order below 1000 rupees. So you will have to place a bulk order for these. You cannot buy 1 or 2 pieces, I guess. Hi there, nomad table. Nomad because I kind of keep moving this table around based on where I want it and when I want it. For example, now since I'll be packing a bunch of orders, I usually bring this out so that I can lay out everything systematically and I won't have any confusion. You guys will also find it much more organized and cleaner to look at while I'm packing. I also bring this table out whenever I want to take nice little product photographs under sunlight, and since my room doesn't have any direct sunlight where sun rays fall, I usually keep this table out in the balcony. That's where I take all my product photographs. Now for all my weekly orders, I actually create an order tracker page on my Notion. That's why I love Notion because you can do so much with it. Just to be clear, this is not a sponsorship because I can only dream of a sponsorship from Notion. So yeah, I basically have a tracker page where I export all my order details. Now this is one big reason why I love Notion because here I have created this drop down list where I'll just click on the status of the order. This kind of helps me a lot to keep a track of everything while packing the orders and makes it less clumsy and scary. I'll start off by cutting out the shipping labels. Something that I really need to invest in is a proper thermal shipping label printer. Currently, I just get the labels printed on Blinkit. The print shop thing and stick each one of them individually using sellotapes, which is extremely time consuming. But recently it has become a little tough, so I am planning on getting a thermal label printer. In case you guys have any recommendation for that, please drop it in the comment section. I'll be glad. A lot of people ask me what this green mat is. It's actually a self-healing cutting mat. It's pretty self-explanatory what it does. I just use it as a base for cutting out my papers. Shipping labels are done. Let's move on to folding the boxes. For this recent shop restock, I had decided that any returning customer that is there, I will actually send out a tiny little note along with one extra freebie snugglet. So that is why I've highlighted their names in green so that I can differentiate, write the notes and send out an additional gift. I actually wanted to do this because it has been... Oh, I cannot write and speak. Let me just write and then talk about it. It's funny how I started with a beautiful handwriting and ended with a bad one. This is the final one. Here's a free little snugglet for being a loyal visitor of Whimsyville. Love and snuggles, Shrey and the Snugglets. So I'll start by packing these first because these have the freebies. The first one is Adil and the product is Strawberry Snuggles Now Keychain. It's a keychain. Let me just check which one. It's a strawberry shaped clasp. There you go. I'm not even sure if I can finish this up within a few hours. This is scary. I'm not scared about the keychains because they just need the thank you card as well as my personal card, but when it comes to the best friends, I also have to add the adoption letters. That makes things a little complicated. There you go, baby. We need a thank you card for this and no adoption letter. I'm getting so flustered because I'm recording and packing. It's very scary for me. Oh, something that you guys need to know if you're shipping for the first time. It came to me as a shocker because initially my product would always end up having a weight discrepancy whenever I would ship them using ShipRocket. And I later on got to know that they are actually taking into account the volumetric weight, not the actual weight. That's when I decided I have to fold everything up and turn it into a tiny little box so that the volumetric weight of the product is also less. I usually write down the name of the customer and I also add the last 4 digits of the order number. That's done. Next one is Smriti, another Strawberry Snuggles Now keychain. I didn't get many orders for Strawberry Snuggles Now the first time I announced the shop drop, but when I announced the restocking, I got a bunch of Strawberry Snuggles Now orders, which is a little weird because I thought that if someone likes a particular item, say for example, if Minnie is very famous during the shop update, then she should also be famous when I am restocking. But that's usually not the case. And then I kind of thought about it. It usually depends a lot on whichever reel is kind of trending on Instagram at this point. So I went back and checked one of my reel where I'm talking about how I prepared the shop launch and made the Strawberry Snuggles Now. It was kind of trending. Maybe because of that, I got more orders for the Strawberry Snuggles Now. That was kind of an interesting learning. I didn't have to do that. I crushed them up a little because I feel that way the cushioning increases because it's all crinkled and crushed paper instead of just plainly folded paper, if that made sense. I'm rambling at this point. I also am making a mess of everything. I always get scared that whether or not I added the letter, but I did. This is, sorry, I forgot the name. We're done packing the orders that have the freebies. Now we move on to the remaining orders. And because I am in a panic mode at this point and I'm freaking out, I'm just gonna cue in the music and let you guys enjoy while I keep my mouth shut and pack as quickly as I can.
turn it upside down. I really wanna hear you out. I can't know how it is to be where you so calmly sit. When I'm further down, there it is, catching only part of it. To just be, to really see something other than just me. To lean in, look around, open up to the sound. If I could give you more than half an ear, if I could give you more than half an ear.
I just noticed, if you guys can see my towel hanging, please ignore it, I'm sorry. I'm left with just 2 more to pack. The coffee bookmarks and the coffee pen stickers are still something that people mostly get in pairs, I've seen. Kind of gives you a little bit idea about the book readers and coffee combination. It's nice to know that I'm not the only junkie here. Oh, I would have just wasted an envelope now. You have no clue how many times I've wasted an envelope because I forgot to add the cards and I just close them up. I can't just open it and then reclose it, so I'll have to tear it apart and waste one envelope. The second last one, oh, it's the Vyangi, not the I wrote Diyangi. I'm sorry, Divyangi. The last one, coffee pen sticker set. Am I out of them? I really need to organize my sticker set thing. I'm nearly out of them, so I guess I will have to recut them. If you guys didn't know, I actually hand cut these. These are not something that I get online, which are pre-cut. I get them printed on sticker papers and then I hand cut these on my own. I am planning on changing that. Because of that, I have been in search of good suppliers on Instagram who can provide stickers based on the designs you send them in bulk. I'll first try out a few samples and then decide whether I want to go for it. Because at this point, I don't think I want to hand cut all my stickers because that makes the process even more lengthy. So I think that may be a good switch. This is something that I've learned from a bunch of creators out there. It might seem like a waste of money, but it is very important to invest back in your business. Even if you have to spend all your money back into the business, I think you still should do it if you have the opportunity to, or if you have the financial means to, because ultimately whatever you're investing back will make your entire process a lot more efficient and easier for you. So in a way, you're doing it for yourself. We're done with all the orders. I'm just gonna put them up in their packages. I have all the shipping labels with me. Now because the intelligent me decided not to get a label printer till now, I'll have to kind of stick them myself using sellotape. So that's gonna take a lot of time.
Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
Done. Finally. This was a little too much for me, to be honest, because I get way too anxious while packing orders. That is the main reason why I do not record it. But I really wanted to put out a video like that, so I thought, let's give it a try. My experience is it kind of took me double the time it usually takes me to pack each order because I had to be very focused on what I was packing at the same time, note whether the angles are fine, whether I'm visible in the camera or not. Also, keep in mind that I'm not mistakenly displaying any personal information of the customers because that is a scary thing to do. I might have to make sure that none of the shipping labels are visible. I don't want to get sued. All I can say is I'm glad it's over. The links to all the packaging as well as glazing supplies are down in the description box. I've tried my best to include everything I can, but just in case my stupid little brain forgot something, which, let's be honest, it probably did. You just have to put it in the comment section and I'll try to help you out as fast as I can. I hope you enjoyed this chaotic little vlog and found it helpful, or at the very least, mildly entertaining while you sipped your drinks. Whether you came here for glazing tips or just to see me panic pack all these orders, I am very happy that you were here. Alrighty then, I'll see you guys soon. Until then, stay crazy. Bye for now. Because let's be honest, coffee doesn't glaze itself. Clay. Because let's be honest, clay doesn't glaze itself and coffee. Oh wow. I hope you enjoyed this. 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 I hope you enjoyed this chaotic vlog.
And out of a sudden, you came through the door. At the next table, your whiskey neat. The lights were dimmed as our eyes